Okay, so I think now we're live. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to our first conversation or meeting with Dr. Shams, as I used to call him, but Dr. Prabhakar. I'm sorry, please correct me if I pronounce it wrong. Usually, all the time I call you Dr. Shams because I knew you in Egypt, and the meaning of your name is actually the light, or the 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 the, per, the person who brings the light, and that's why it shows Shams in Arabic, because it's similar to the meaning in Hindi. So can you please introduce us a little bit, Doctor, and then we will go through with the audience of all the set, like we'll go through the setting of this conversation today. So please give us an introduction, and then we'll go through the rest of the settings.
Right. Hello, all. I'm Prabhakar Madhikar. Prabhakar in English is equivalent to the sun in the sky, and Shams in Arabic. And I'm born and brought up in India. I did my PhD studies in applied yoga uh, way back in 1992. I have been in the field of yoga practice since my age of about 14 years or 15 years, making it about 50 plus years now. I am a common man. I follow the path of common sense in my life. What I practiced, experienced in traditional yoga has been a cumbersome, difficult way to discipline one's body and mind. But I thought there must be a simpler way than that. So I developed my own way of practicing and guiding in yoga for health benefits, whether it is a physical challenge or a mental problem or emotional disturbance or a spiritual confusion. I developed a way to do it as simple as possible, and I call it Madhikar Yoga, or in short form, My Yoga, My, My, which is for Madhikar Yoga. So this Madhikar Yoga is a way to uh, guide individuals to become self-confident, first of all, and to become aware of their situation, whether it is a problem or a challenge or a confusion, and to equip them with the necessary tools of facing that challenge and situation, and very easily to come over it and find once again the meaning of life, the joy, the happiness, peace, and pleasure in living life. This is what I do. What I follow is very simple way that whatever is scientific, logical, experimentable, and repeatable, and the benefits you get out of it, the result you get out of it, must be repeatable all over world, irrespective of time and place, and get the same good results. So Madhikar Yoga, or my yoga, is one such very simple way of almost instantaneously giving an individual a new path, a new hope, a new self-confidence, and to live the life happily. In short, that's what I could say about myself and what I do. Yeah.
Thank you. And I remember you told me that you like to and be asked questions more than just talking and giving lectures. And some people they like to, especially when it comes to self acknowledgement or self awareness and spiritual journey, people looking for someone to give them the the condensed wisdom in like a magic recipe that will change them. But your approach usually, I like that we're all similar, we're all the same. It's not something unique, it's not magic, it's a personal journey. And if you're willing to do the journey with yourself, I can show you the way, and I can guide you through it. But still, it's your own journey. It's um, it's your own path to consider. So, can you tell us more about the concept of Ananda and what does that mean in a way, and how to live in a state of the Ananda, if this is correct what I'm saying, because also I'm still learning.
Everybody is. In our life, each of us is on the path of learning, finding out, and experiencing. Let me tell you, Ananda is a state of mind of highest peace and happiness put together, which is called a bliss. To reach a state of Ananda, one has to be joyous, one has to be at peace, sorry,
It's okay.
and one has to be stable, having reasonable good health and security, feeling of security of oneself. And it has nothing to do with your financial security. How good you treat yourself, how good you keep yourself, and how you make yourself happy without interfering or disturbing others around you, whether directly or indirectly. This state of one's being is called Ananda or the bliss. To reach this level, one has to have a clear understanding of what one is in himself or herself, and it is essential to know also about the surroundings, like the world around us, society around us, and up above the nature. The nature, which is a mother of all of us. Therefore, it is called Mother Nature. We don't say Father Nature, we say Mother Nature.
Mhm.
And why is it called Mother Nature? I'll tell you. We are all coming to the point of Ananda only. But as a backdrop of it, it's better if you know this information. A mother is a person who keeps the individual before being born in herself, in her stomach, and nourishes with her own life, sharing her life and helping to grow a new life in herself for a long periods of months. Oh, this is wonderful. It's being recorded. It's
Every
great.
every everything is recorded, Dr. Shams. So we excuse everyone because I got some comments about the camera movement. This is my first time, and the first time of Dr. Prabhakar as well, to do live streaming. So excuse us for the quality, excuse us for any technical um, difficulties or problems. So let's us all fix in the content more than that we're learning. This is a journey. So this is our first episode. We're pretty sure to avoid that problems in the future, but we try to make this possible because Dr. Shams here in Toronto leaving in a couple of days. So we want to make this happening now. What we promise, we're gonna have future episodes, and things will be more set up in a better, more professional condition. So today we're like amateurs, try to accept our limited knowledge, but as long as you can hear us well, as long as you can see the camera well, please do so. And also feel free if you want to write any questions or any comments to engage with us, we will highly appreciate. So can we go back to what you were saying about the Ananda and understanding our relationship with Mother Earth? And I really like that this state of being, it's also without being annoying to anyone else. I think that's the challenge, because sometimes when I stand for myself, I annoy the surrounding, and that reflect negatively. How come I should be in peace but I'm not, and so on. So yes, please continue. Thank you.
Right. So we were saying that the mother nature gives us life, protects us, and offers every opportunity abundantly and endlessly to find our meaning of life to each of us and to live a fulfilling life. As I was saying, that a mother nourishes a life, an unmanifest life in herself for 9 months and grows it and delivers as a full grown individual, whether a boy or a girl, male, female, but it's a life, entity of life. And then becomes the first caretaker, nourisher, and guide in our life. So the nature is also like that. The nature around us, for example, is a phenomena that we can see, that we can experience, and we can speak about it. And as I told you, I follow a common sense way. Everything that is told to me, that must appeal to my common sense, and everything I convey to others, that must be appealed to them too. And the mother nature, which we are a small part of life, has produced us as an absolutely unique being. For example, we are about 8 billion plus in the world. Each one of these 8 billion individuals is unique piece of production, manufacturing, and chiseling from the nature. Even if there is a theory that in the world there are about 7 people lookalikes, or even among the twins who almost look alike, their thinking is different, their choices are different, their likes and dislikes are different. Therefore, this is a proof that each one of us is absolutely a one piece production only in the nature. This is the greatness of nature. Like, for example, if you take a television company, it produces a model and it produces a million pieces of televisions of the same type. Everything is the same, 100%. But one mother produces few kids, they are completely different. They are boys, girls, and thinking differently and acting differently. Therefore, one has to understand the importance of nature around us, and then importance of each one of us to know the value of Ananda in life, the highest happiness of life. And this life is only one opportunity given to us to experience and make the life better for us and for others. And in this process, when we look around, for example, we wonder, there is a sun in the sky in the mornings, there is a moon in the sky at nights, and the cycle goes on and on and on and on. It has been going on even before my birth, and it will go on even after my death. So, this period of time for me that I am here must be used for good of myself and good of others. This is the only way to make the life beautiful and to bring peace and happiness in life, which is the preconditions for experiencing Ananda. When one is in the state of Ananda, there is no difference between me and you, between me and a mosquito, or a cow, an elephant, or a tree. When we have this unanimous feeling or seeing everything in me and myself and everything else, there is no animosity. There is only liking. There are hardly any cases that individuals hate themselves. They do hate. There are individuals who hate themselves. That a transitory period that happens temporarily. But when we know this universality of identification of ourselves with everyone around us, there will be no place for dislike, jealousy, hatred, and the violence in our life. When this happens at a societal level, the society is in harmony. When this happens international level, then the world is in harmony within itself. But for this, there are certain preconditions, and they are not impossible to achieve. They are simplest things that we are expected to do, and they are that you seek, like everyone else in life, three major things to fulfill towards the path of experiencing Ananda, and that is the food, the shelter, and the security. When you have these three things to your sufficiency, usually you are content. You may try to improve upon them. You may look at your neighbors who are better than you and try to become like that, but that's a secondary aspect of life. But primarily, if your food is taken care of, if you have a shelter, and if you have a security in your life, you are a contentful person. And this is where the happiness begins. And this happiness will result in peace of mind. And this peaceful mind will open up the higher vistas of one's life, looking for the meaning of life, looking for the object of universality. And when you have that experience, you are in the state of Ananda.
So
This is how I could
I have a
explain.
question here, and I will play the devil. So to reach the level of Ananda, as you mentioned here, that we need food, shelter, and security. But
Yeah,
I think it's challenging for some people in certain phases in their life or in a living condition that securing food, shelter, like having food or shelter or security, it would be hard. Uh, but if I talk about like Canada, for example, yes, some people and lots of people in Canada they have hard time to secure food, shelter, and security. But there are people they already having food and shelter and security, but they are not living the Ananda. So is it a, like a mindset or it's a physical reality or the mindset reflect into the physical reality or vice versa or how can we allow ourselves to live that state of being, to live the Ananda? Because what are you saying theoretically very easy, but application it might be is the fear of losing the food or losing the shelter, those ideas and those thoughts that wouldn't give me the sense of security if or if I don't like my job, even if it pays okay, I wouldn't say it pays a lot, which is a security because at the end of the month I have a salary, but I still feel I might not be there for a year or now in my 20s, 30s, 40s, how life would be. I have to think about retirement after 60. How can I afford my basics? So at the moment, I have the food and shelter and the security, but next year I don't. And that wouldn't put me in an Ananda state of being. So, what's your reflections on something like that? Because I think sometimes our thoughts are the most or the highest motivation for us not to be aligned or grounded or living in abundance, emotional and spiritual and physical abundance.
Right, I agree with you. I'll tell you something. Look, as a human being, we suffer of only two things in life. And those two things are either we suffer for want of something which we want but it is not there in our life, or we suffer because we want more of the thing that we already have. The cause of all problems in one's life, individually or in the life of a country. If you take a country as an entity, the same applies. That an individual who is hungry looks for food, and the person who had food looks for more. And when the want of having more is not immediately available, then individual starts looking around and trying to take from those who already have, either by way of asking, borrowing, stealing, or robbing, or indulging in even more violent activities, leading to, taking the lives, like killing, murders. If you see the phenomena of human life from the beginning until now, we have only this two-ended problem. Either we don't have, we have, but we want more at the cost of others. And Ananda is a state, as I told you, of experience where you are happy with what you have and you peacefully and mindfully try to secure for tomorrow. As you just said that this year you're okay, but you're not sure if you're going to have your job next year. All right, that's true. And then when you have this year, you should have enough to prepare for yourself for eventuality of unexpected being fired or whatever for some time that you could sustain by yourself, not by choosing any antisocial way to sustain yourself. But what happens in one's life is the people who are not clear minded, the people who are not weak in their resolutions, who cannot stay on what they think consistently, cause problems to themselves and cause problems to the others too. This happens between individuals in a family. This happens between neighbors. This happens between, within different states in a country. And this happens among the countries as a whole. Therefore, what I think is, whole problem of world today, whether it was 1,000 years ago, now or 1,000 years from now in future, we will suffer from this very single problem, that either we suffer that we don't have something, or we suffer that we want more and we want to get it in any way, any which way we can. And Ananda is a state of mind that actually you regain yourself to an understanding. You come to an understanding that, look, I have enough now. But does my neighbor have enough too? I am eating well, a good dinner. But what about my neighbor? If my neighbor doesn't have, a person who is peace loving would share a part of his dinner with his neighbors too. Because sooner or later, the neighbor would get very disturbed, looking at you, having your food and he doesn't have for days, and he doesn't mind asking you, stealing you, or robbing you too. So Ananda is a state of mind where having the minimum, the reasonable that you have, and share the rest with others, whether it is a knowledge, whether it is prosperity, whether it is property, or relational foundations of feeling good with others. So this requires a little bit of discipline, a discipline which is very practicable, very doable, and very easy. But then why is it not happening? The question is, why is it not happening? It is not happening because we don't know how to do it. It is not taught in our schools. It is not taught in our families. It is not taught in any organizations. Therefore, we run after only having more and more and more endlessly, which never ends. On one fine day, the individual ends his life, but his wants will still continue. I don't know, even after the life or so. So, this is not only stupidity, in my opinion, with due apologies of using this word, stupidity of individuals, but also an ignorance. And I feel that, as I said, that I am a common sense man, I would like to share this knowledge of how to yourself, first of all, become content with yourself. Look at yourself, learn from your own self, observe yourself. And then, if there are any things to be corrected, be brave to correct them. Be strong to accept the lapses that you have been doing or the weaknesses that you have been suffering. Be strong to accept them and appreciate that now you have the strength to face them. And once you face them, once you appreciate your problems, your challenges, the solution comes out. In my opinion, there is no problem in the world which does not have a solution. Every single problem, whether it is relational, marital, friendship, economics, politics, or military, whatever, every problem has a solution in itself. You do not have to look for solutions outside the problem. If you appreciate your problem, if you understand why the problem has come, what are the causes of problem, and how much you are responsible part of this problem. Once you know this and you appreciate the situation and you appreciate the other situation, other person, situation, condition, whatever, and when it becomes completely understood, a solution springs up automatically. It's other part, of course, whether you want to solve the problem, you are consciously, or you don't want to solve them, or let the problem continue for your own temporary benefits. That's a different thing. But in my opinion, every problem from individual to the world is solvable in a very simple way. That is what my yoga looks for. And that is what my yoga, which is Madhikar Yoga, guides people, directs them to become self-sufficient, confident, and brave to face their challenges, appreciate their challenges, admire their problem. Never hate your problem. By hatred, nothing comes out. Only by love, something comes out. So when an individual has a problem, do not run from it. Do not shun. Don't turn away. You welcome the problem that you have. You don't create a problem, but a problem springs up in front of you. You face it. You welcome it. You appreciate it. At this time, the moment you appreciate your problem, the problem is already half solved, in my opinion. With my experience, I can say this. And then look out for the ways that you can break up this problem into smallest parts. Like, for example, I tell you an example. Like you are walking in a forest, there is nobody around, and you find a small tooth. You pick it up, and this looks like a tiger's tooth. Are you afraid with this tiger? No. You look at it, you appreciate it, you look at its shape, and you touch it, you feel it, and you feel about it, and look around if there is any tiger. There is no tiger. So you take this as your possession. You walk forward, and then you find one small piece of the tiger's tail. You will be surprised to look around and lift up the tiger tail. Do you see the tiger there? No. You only look at it, you appreciate its colors and all, you keep it up and you go on. You walk on. Are you afraid now? No. Are you confused now? No, you're happy. But suddenly you take a few steps and a tiger springs up in front of you, alive. What happens? You're petrified, you're terrified, you're frozen. And then you have only one choice, either to face it or to run away. If you face it, you should have enough qualification, experience, and tools to face it. Like in Africa, I hear that there are people, nomad people, who face the tigers and lions as their pet animals, and they don't do anything to them. They walk past, they go to them, they cajole them, they play with them, and they go away. But does it happen with us? No. The tiger will immediately pounce upon us and make it a good meal. Why? The difference is the person there knows how to deal, and I as an individual don't know. So I pay the price. So my yoga, MY, my yoga, I'm giving an example, helps an individual to look at the problem in smallest possible parts and understand and appreciate it, and then slowly put them all together. And when this happens, you are trained enough mentally and physically and emotionally to face it and overcome the problem. And this has been my experience. So I said, why so much of wasting time in dealing with the situation, beating around the bush? Like, for example, if a person in a depression, for example, a person is in a depression and goes to a psychiatrist. What does the psychiatrist do? He listens to him for 1 hour, half an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and prescribes some medicine and asks him to come back after some time. And the person goes back, and the same process is repeated, and the person goes back and back and back and front. It goes on for years together. Has it been solved? No. Because the psychiatrist is not helping you to get over your situation. He's only helping you to press it down under your feet, close it in your heart, block it in your mind by either counseling or through medication. Is this a solution? No, I would not agree. Because as long as you do not deal with the root cause of any challenge, any problem, you will never solve it. If you want to uproot a tree, you don't cut off its leaves or branches. It still is there. You have to fell the tree. And even when you fell the tree, the roots under the ground have still the capacity to green up again, grow again. This is our experience. So all our problems in our life are like that. If you are serious about changing your situation, making your situation better, you go to the root of your problem. You appreciate the problem. You understand the problem. You bear the problem. It's not that you immediately have a solution. No. If a problem shocks you, be shocked. If a problem frightens you, be frightened. If a problem makes you very insecure, be insecure. But for a moment only, for a time only. Try to digest it, understand it. And for this, you need certain minimum capacity. This is what my yoga guides a person to get this minimum stability and face the situation and come over it. I am not a guru, like for example, as many people would understand, where hundreds and thousands and millions of people are hooked to. This is what a guru wants, that they must be under control, and it develops into a cult. And the history is a proof that every such person has proven to be a fake, invariably, as long as a person wants individuals to be hooked upon them. There are some gens of saints and monks and yogis who were selfless, but they only guided their people.
Mm.
And I follow the same way, that I guide people. I help the people to understand their situation, and then I let them free. I tell them, find, this is the way you go, and you will find the solution. And on the way, if anyone needs, I am always there to help. But I do not want an individual to hook upon me. That is a stagnation. That creates only a fear. That creates only a insecurity. Like, for example, I am a human being like anyone else, and one day I will die. And there may be few of my followers who are so dependent on me, who may be worried that, oh my God, now I have Dr. Prabhakar or Dr. Shams, as you say, with me. I can turn upon too. I have a shoulder there. I have an ear there. But what if suddenly he dies? For example, what am I going to do? What will happen to me? Oh my God, what I am in a situation I am. This happens, and sometimes it actually happened in my experience. This is what I do not want. I want an individual to become complete in oneself, and maybe a small light. It's okay. Today it's a candle. You light the candle in you, and tomorrow that your candlelight could be sufficiently supportive to the other one who even doesn't have that kind of light, isn't it? So this is what I think. Why we are saying all about the Ananda is, this is not beating around the bush. This is the basic information that one should understand and follow a simple way of common sense. How to improve ourselves and then feel happy. And I have a simple phrase to say to the world at large. And that is, be good to yourself and be good to others. I don't think there is any other religious, philosophical, intellectual, theistic or atheistic or agnostic philosophy which can be better than this. Just be good to yourself, because this is the only life you have. What you were before being born, I don't care. What I will be after a death, I don't care. Because the past is dead. I cannot bring it back. The future is misty. I don't know about it. So why do I waste my time brooding about the past or imagining about the fantasies of future? No, I do not follow this path. I do not accept this. What I say is, today is right. You are here. You are real. You can think, you can feel, you can see, you can touch, you can enjoy. So this reality you have to experience in full. And this is the only one opportunity given to us by the Mother Nature. Only once. There may be people saying that, oh, you will be reincarnate again. There is a theory of karma. You have to do this, you have to do that to be better in life. I don't subscribe to that ideology. I subscribe to the ideology, what I see, I believe. If something which I don't see still exists, yes, but give me reasonable proof for that I might believe in it. I cannot believe in something completely fantastic and abstract. No, that's not me, and that's not my way, and that's not what I teach to other people, whoever it is. I am a simple man, as a common sense man. So I practice very simple yoga, my yoga, which is Madhikar yoga, which has solved some of the biggest problems and challenges in my life. And it helped, many people in their lives, and exclaimed at the end that, was that really happening with me? Is it so simple? Yes. If you do it right, it will. As long as you beat around the bush, you will never reach to the center of the bush.
I
If you
really
know how to go one straight and simple way, you are there. That's all. This is what I want to say.
That's wonderful, and I was smiling a lot because many of the points you mentioned actually it happened to me. Um, I know you, Dr. Prabhakar, since 2010, the first time we met, because I completely tore my ACL in my knee, and I couldn't walk well. So I met you. My father introduced me to you, and I didn't do a surgery, and I'm happily walking around, dancing and jumping. Um, and then I met you again in 2014 to have a personal journey with you on the spiritual level. But I fell in the trap that you just mentioned right now. So you mentioned something I would say very interesting to think about. Uh, in the Western culture, it's a very individualist culture, and that really echoes what you said, that the person, it's your own well being, it's your own decision to change how you look to reality, how you see world, how you interact with others, and how you look at your life. But at the same time, in the culture that it's a very individualist culture, when they look for a spiritual growth or healing, they like to call this healing, whether physical healing or spiritual healing, they like to find a Christ figure, or like a saint, a guru, the Buddha, and they want to follow that. Otherwise, they don't think this is the right thing. And that's very interesting. How come in a very individualist culture, when it comes to spirituality, we depend on other people. We don't depend on ourselves. But also the culture that we're living in, it's completely the opposite and against everything you said, because we live in a culture that's greedy. Don't share your limited resources. We live in a limited resources world. Countries, economy, everything, like, you compete to get a job, you compete to get an apartment, you compete to find a seat on the bus, you compete to do everything. You have to compete to do everything, literally. And it's a mindset, it's not a mindset, it's a reality of this society. And if you don't compete, things doesn't show up, and you can do it different ways. I've experienced that when I contain myself with the Ananda. I didn't know that this is the Ananda, because from our experience, sometimes after I moved to Canada, I get a glimpse of that experience back in 2014, because I moved here in 2015. Um, but sometimes I fall in the trap of you have to compete, you have to compete. Everything here does have like qualifications. There is like a checklist you have all the time to follow. Otherwise, people, or otherwise, you would assume that you're um, like under the expectations of other people. You're misrepresenting yourself. You're not competing enough in that society. You don't have a good position in your work. You don't have that relationship. You don't have that body, or that you're not famous, and many other things. So reality, sometimes I don't know which one is reality. I believe what are you saying should be the reality, not this kind of situation. But in societies and in a culture like that, for certain people, having I can say like a figure to follow, help them understanding, or help them motivate them, sorry, to do the change, because they saw someone went through the journey. They need someone who knows how to do it. But also Buddha said one day that if you follow Buddha and don't follow yourself, and please correct me, I'm not saying it correctly like now, kill the Buddha, don't follow the Buddha, just be yourself. Be your own guru, or be your own teacher, be your own like compass in life. But in a life with lots of distraction, with lots of competition, with lots of greed, you mentioned the greed that I can take it from myself, that I don't have, that my job or my contract will end next year, so I'm so stressed. I have to find another source of income. To countries that you go colonize other countries, like when you were reflecting on that, I think now we were reflecting on capitalism, colonization, and big words. But I think everything is related, and as above, so below. So it's the same thing with us. So in this um, culture, in this environment, that it's going to, it's actually global right now. I can see everyone, they're like running in a marathon to reach a destiny that I don't know what it is. Like you're unsuccessful. Like people sometimes they have a self judgment and they're so harsh. I feel I didn't make it. I'm unsuccessful. So what gonna make you feel that? And even I ask myself that question to reach that position. But when we reach that position and we get comfortable, we start to feel I am unsuccessful. I am frozen here and so on. So within this culture, how come we can overcome our confidence of the journey that we're going through? How we can trust the journey, even if there is ups and downs? Because when we have the ups, we're so happy, but when we get to the down, we're not happy. So how come we can overcome this and stay on uplifting, like mood or health?
Yeah, the answer is in your inquiry only. How come we come over this situation of all that you said now? It's simple. The want of more has no upper end, but the want of minimum has a lower end, right? So when you have the minimum with you, then without running, you can simply take comfortable steps towards what you want more. You don't have to compete with your neighbor. You don't have to compete with your other organization, let's say other company, competitive company. No, you do your best in your own. This is the difference. Like everybody is running like a rat race. Why? Because everybody else is running. If you understand this, why I am running, is it essential for me to run? Then a lot of problems of insecurity would vanish away, in my opinion. And the society has become such that the technology has become such that it is becoming more and more comfortable, luxurious, and threatening. The technology we have today is more threatening than a happy position. We recently had experiences, very bad experiences, internationally, politically, in some of the conflict areas. I don't want to mention the countries' names and what happened. But with just one push of a button, you can harm countless number of individuals. So is this what the technology meant for? But technology had given us that opportunity to communicate with each other. Yes.
Yes.
But look at the danger it is posing. Which is more weighing, that communication or threat to life? I would say it is threat to life. Therefore, we have to be very cautious and controlling ourselves the passion of trying to control others. when you overcome this, be passionate. It's necessary. We must have feelings. We must experience the feelings with passion. But you should ask one simple question: is my passion going to cause any problem to others? Then it is not a rightful passion.
So,
Therefore,
oh, sorry, continue.
therefore, therefore, what I say is, although we should look for more in our life, comfort, technology, luxury, but this must not be at the cost of others. Others' discomfort, others' insecurity. And my yoga helps an individual to understand this, to digest it, apply it, practice it, experience it, and share it with others.
Mhm.
And it is possible. It doesn't matter what economic state you are in now currently, it doesn't matter what educational status now you are currently, but you are a human being. Basically, every human being is same. There is absolutely no difference, either in our makeup or in our software in the mind. But there is a freedom to utilize it in the way we like. Whether we like this mental and emotional software for our selfish gains, harming others, or we want to share it for the good of others too.
Mhm.
When this happens, one reaches this state of peace, one reaches this state of happiness, which matures into joy, which finally settles onto one as Ananda. This is what I want to say.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And it's really not easy to change the mindset, but at the same time, it's so easy because it doesn't need that much of an effort. Just switching a perspective, and also like when I experienced with the exercises that you gave me and many things, that was it was working like a magic. I don't know how to not a magic. I don't want to sound like a bit as a dreamer, but things align automatically. So I remember when I start that journey with you almost 10 years ago. Yeah, 2014, 2024. That was 10 years ago. The spiritual one and the physical one 24 years ago. 14 years ago, sorry. Uh, Things were aligning accordingly. So I was eating lots of unhealthy food, fast food. I don't really take care of my body, and then automatically my body start to crave healthier food. I feel like I don't want to drink. This is like the carbonated drinks. There's too much sugar in it. Why? Like maybe I will eat a fruit. Like I start automatically. I'm not in that state of being right now, but I would love to go back. But I experienced this for like almost 5 6 years, and that's the I've been through a phase in my life when I moved and changed countries that were shaking, and actually I'm coming back, and it's part of the journey. We like experience and experiment our own values and our own stability and hardships and come back, and it's completely fine. It's part of the ups and downs. Like we breathe, inhale and exhale. Everything there is a movement. Nothing is stagnant. So how this Ananda affects also, like we talked about our mindset, our relationship with our neighbors, with our surroundings, with our families, with our beloved ones, how that also affect us on the physical level, physically, and how and what the techniques that you use, because you don't only do spiritual or meditation yoga, but you do healing, physical recovery and healing experiences. As I mentioned before, I had my ACL torn and you helped me without any surgery. I remember you told me, I will promise you not to get your knee 100% like before, but it can be 90 to 95%. And the surgeon told me, I cannot make it better than 70%. If it's 70%, that should be so grateful. Um, and when I saw many friends, they had the same problem and they have done the surgery and even like physiotherapy after. Some of them, especially the athletes, did good, but they have the chance of breaking it again, like it will be torn again. But I don't have one, so it won't be torn again. So I won't face the same problem because I didn't do the surgery. They didn't make that artificial ACL in my knee. So tell us more about the the physical aspect and how the spiritual like enlightenment or awareness it change our physical reality in our surrounding and our own bodies, and how we can maintain that. And sometimes I remember I had a problem in my stomach and he told me, why you reached that, are you okay? Like it seems like there's too much stress I'm holding in my gut, literally, that hurt my gut as an organ, not my gut as the feeling, oh my gut doesn't tell me this, but my stomach, the physical stomach got hurt. So can you tell us more about this, how to align and balance between the physical and the spiritual, and what's the importance of this?
Yeah, sure. Like anything manufactured in a factory, it has a raw material first of different kinds, and then it is molded, prepared, tested, and delivered, right? Similarly, as in the beginning we were discussing, that we were in the raw material form, we were brought together, we were joined, we were shaped, we were nourished, and then we came into this world. So we have, although we say my body, you say only body, but this body has skin, has muscles, has nerves, blood vessels, glands, and so many other things, bones that make us our body. But apart from this, are we just these fluids and some mass? No, there is life in it. And the life is called prana in Sanskrit, in yoga. And this is a continuous recharging of this physical body, or you say a battery. It needs a continuous recharging. Like you have a phone and you recharge it and it's good for 12 hours, sorry, 24 hours, then you have to recharge it. But our body is so delicate, so special, so huge, humongous, that it needs to be recharged continuously. And that recharging is done through our breathing. And once the breathing stops, no matter one person is 5 kgs or 500 kgs, he is just a mass. We call it dead body. No one would call me Prabhakar. They would call me dead body of Prabhakar, right? Like that, when you look at the body, why I'm telling you is to give you a backdrop of what is the discipline in yoga in general and in my yoga in particular. Are we just this physical mass of body and the breath? No. Beyond and above this, we also think, we observe, we understand, we analyze, we criticize, we stabilize, we apply, we experience. So there is something more than this, and that we call mind or manas in yoga. And this is in two parts. A part of manas is working in the head, a part of manas is working in the heart. When I say heart, this is not a muscular heart that beats 72 times per minute. No. There is a center in the middle of the chest, beside the muscular heart, we know as the heart of emotions and feelings. So, we are also the mass, physical mass. We are also the breathing. We are also the thinking and feeling being. But is that all enough? That's it? No. Beyond thinking and feeling, there must be something who is thinking and who is feeling. There must be a nucleus to this from where all this is happening. So that nucleus is called Atma in yoga, or the soul. And it is said that this soul or Atma, in coordination of the mind, thinking mind, the heart, the feeling heart, and with the breathing, conducts all the biophysical activities. Physically, we move externally, and internally, we do so many activities that we are not aware of, like digestion, for example, heartbeat, for example. They are not in our control. So, some of movements are our control, some are partly controlled, some are totally uncontrolled by us. Like physical movement, you can control. You can walk, you can run, you can sprint, you can sit. This is completely under your control. Breathing, you can breathe short, you can breathe long, you can stop breathing only for some time. Then you must breathe. Therefore, this is partly in your control. And like I said, the dreaming, the feeling are completely not in our control, but they still happen. The internal activities, biochemical activities, all blood flowing, feces moving out of your body, your urination, they're partly your control, partly not. So all of these put together is called one organism, which is a human being. And be, linguistically, is an indication of something present. Be indicates the present tense, right? Even grammatically. So ing adds to it its sustenance, existence. So being means that this something is existing, an existential entity. This existential entity is called Sharira in yoga and Deha. So with these two, if we have, we should know where are they, what are their attributes, what are their functions, can we interfere with them, can we control them, and can we redirect them for our own good. This we do partly through physical fitness means like running, jogging, gym doing, dieting, or whatever you say, to some extent physically. And mentally, you entertain yourself, you excite yourself, you take some drinks, you do some things like, what is it called? Uh,
In Canada,
Smoking.
marijuana, it's legal in Canada. We're okay to say that. Yeah, okay. Like some substance for uplifting mood or something like that.
They say it's like marijuana, stronger than that. Smoking, more stronger than that is marijuana, stronger than that is magic mushroom, stronger than that is ayahuasca, like that, morphine, whatever it's called. So all these things we do to mentally uh, find some kind of stability and relaxation and peace temporarily. And they do help, but these are chemical interferences in the processes that are happening inside your system. Therefore, they always tend to leave you in a worse position than you began with. Therefore, they are not the right means. But then, is there a right way that you can still correct these maladies, malfunctions in your system and direct them to, to your own good? Yes, it is possible. And that is the way the yoga directs us to do certain things physically, called asanas, vitally, called pranayama, the breathing techniques, and meditation or dhyana for mental, intellectual, and spiritual experiences. But you say, this sounds very technical, very difficult. How can we do it? We don't know. Yes, it is technical, but it is not difficult. It is not impossible. You have to put some effort, a little effort. Like, for example, while we are in a Montessori and kindergarten, we were taught certain alphabets. Did you learn alphabet A in one single time? No. You had to repeat several times, right? Repeating, rubbing over the same structure few times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, then it sticks in your mind that whenever you say this, see this shape, you say, this is A, right? And once it is imprinted in your mind, you usually do not forget it if you use it from time to time. You may say that, for example, you learn a language, for example, Arabic, you learn Arabic language, you are very fluent in it after a few years, then for a long years to come, there was nobody to speak to. But then you suddenly come across a person who is from the same country and same accent, you want to speak, but are you able to speak in the way like you did 10 years ago? No. That means that the mind has a capacity to retain information for some time, which must be repeated to keep on. If you don't repeat, it gets redundant and it is deleted from your memory. But it is still there in the depths of your mind that you can always recall. So yoga practice is that simple physical activities called asanas and including the breathing exercises called pranayama and meditative exercises called dhyana are a systematic step-by-step way to learn how to discipline our body, clean it up, reshape it, revitalize it, and redirect the energy onto the higher things. Like, for example, I tell you, a hungry stomach doesn't know what is right and what is wrong. A starving man cannot be a peaceful man. You cannot expect peace from a starving individual. He could be violent because he is a question of survival, life and death. Therefore, what is required is, first of all, the minimum you need. Again, we are going back to this food, shelter, and security. If you have these in their minimum, then you can think of improving upon yourself, to coming upon, to gain over the competence of solving your anxiety, your fears, your phobias, your insecurities. And it is much, much easier. And when you lead a simplified, disciplined life, diseases usually do not strike you. Usually. It must still happen. Accidents must still happen. Infections may still happen. But from your side, you will be nearly immune to most of the health hazards. And that is the way that it has to be. And that is what the My Yoga system is. But then, for physical problems, like you mentioned, knee problem, it may need a physical attention. But there is a mental problem that I have to be physically attending on your knee because it is a physical problem. For a mental problem, I don't have to be with you to deal with your mind. Like we are now having a conversation online, this can be dealt with. And it's much, much easier. And in a given frame of time, the problem will be solved so easily that you would turn back and say that, oh, that has been really so easy. I didn't think of it this way because you did not have the right guidance. This is what I want to do. Once I train you, I teach you, I let you free to be strong enough to deal the situations all by yourself and help others. This is what I wish to do. And this is what I have been doing. For this, it requires a minimum training of few sessions stretched over few days or whatever. And then an individual can be on one's own and enjoy the life.
That's amazing. And now I know why everything were aligned magically. I can I ask you just to fix the camera a
Yeah.
little bit? Yes. Thank you. Why things were aligned magically? Because I was doing many of the breathing activities, but I didn't know the terminologies, so that's why.
Yeah.
But I remember all the techniques that you were giving me were mostly at the beginning was breathing, and then when we start to go through more the journey, you start to give me some meditating exercises, but also keep the like breathing exercises, because the breathing, I remember you told me it's like setting up your computer. This is the way that you breathe, your body function in a proper way. And I like that that you like say it, and it's like constant recharging. It's we should be wired. We're not like we don't have bat. We should be wired all the time by breathing, and this breathing will keep us in the state of mind that will help us understand, um, appreciate the minimum that we have. When you said to get out of the survival mood, which is I have like I have a shelter. I'm not out in the cold. I have good food to put in my stomach, even if it's not the fanciest thing, but at least I have food. And tomorrow I will not be in the street. Maybe I don't have the best income. Maybe I don't have the best relationship. Maybe I don't have the best furniture, or I don't have the best house, and so on. This will come eventually by practicing the Ananda, and make the Ananda as a lifestyle in a way. So, having said all of that, Doctor, we, because we have been live for almost an hour and 20 minutes, so I would suggest now, if you have last words to mention, but also we would like to end with a breathing exercise or a guided meditation for our viewers. And that will be something in our future episodes as well. So if you would like to have final thoughts and then guide us through the exercise, that would be great.
All right. I would repeat again, always be confident of yourself. Be proud of yourself that you are here in this world. And this is the opportunity you have to live your life, to experience your life, and share your life with others for making the life more beautiful than it is today for you and for the people around you. This is what I think I would like to say. And let's do a very simple meditation. And this meditation is on breathing pattern. As we were just discussing, that breath is life. If there is no breath, there is no life. So we will do now one simple exercise, that is stretching the breath. Let me tell you a little about the breathing. It is estimated medically that we breathe about 14 to about 20 plus times per minute. But yoga has a definite calculation. Yoga is a science of life, and it's an art of living. So it has a mathematical precision in explaining yoga practices. Yoga says that a healthy man, averagely healthy man, breathes about 15 times per minute. That is 2 seconds for in and 2 seconds per out. Like this, we breathe, we breathe about 900 times in 1 minute. And with this, we breathe about 21,600 times in 1 day. A day means both 24 hours, 12 hours day and 12 hours night. So in 24 hours, we breathe around 21,600 times. And yoga says that nature has fixed your life. Like when medicine is produced, it is mentioned on it a slip, the date of manufacture and the date of expiry. Right? Like that, the yoga says that when nature has produced you, from the date it is fixed your life term too, and that is counted in terms of number of breaths. The more you breathe, the lesser longer you live. The longer you breathe, the longer you live. This is the basic principle of Hatha Yoga, which is a branch of yoga. Therefore, for our simple understanding, if we want to be alive, we must be breathing. And if we want to live long, we must be breathing long. Very simple. So we do a meditation just for 3 minutes, which I will describe how to do, and you shall do it, and all the listeners, if there are any, to do the same. And you will notice that within 3 minutes, you start feeling that something, a calm, a quiet feeling is dawning on you. And we shall talk about it more in detail in future our sessions. But for now, just take a breath now, for example. Breathe in and out. This is a process going on since we are born, and we are never conscious of it. Were you ever conscious of breathing except when you are exhausted after running or going up a long stair? You are not conscious of breathing. It's going on. Even when you are asleep, it's going on. Therefore, let us focus on breathing and do this breathing just for 3 minutes, and let everybody experience the worth and value of breathing for being alive. So breathe in once again. Take a deep breath in and out. And you shall now close your eyes and keep breathing this way, but become conscious of your breathing. Feel the breath that you are breathing in and out, and breathe in and out both through your nose only. And we'll just do it for 3 minutes, and you should be able to know the difference. So close your eyes, and 3 minutes from now, casually breathe in, but deeply. Take a deep breath in and casually breathe out, completely emptying your chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Very comfortable way. No stress, no strain. Keep breathing deeply. Let your body completely loose, as if there is only breath that you are. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep breathing deeply. Enjoy every breath that you are taking in your body. Enjoy every breath that you are releasing out of your body. With a relaxed movement, with a relaxed body, with a relaxed feeling. Relax. 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 Keep breathing. You are enjoying your breath slowly, smoothly. You are experiencing a very quietness, a very peacefulness inside you and around you. With a relaxed state of mind, relaxed state of body, you are experiencing for the first time, if you have not done it already, the pleasure and peace of breathing. Now, slowly open your eyes. Slowly open your eyes. Gently rub your eyes with your hands a couple of times and rub your face and rub your head backwards a couple of times. So this was about 4 minutes and a half that happened. And try this whenever you have time, wherever you are, as long as there is fresh air. You do this even for a minute or two, taking deep breaths will help you a lot in calming down the mind. This is what the psychiatrists suggest us, therapists suggest us, religious gurus, real gurus also suggest us. So enjoy.
That was a pleasure. Yes, thank you. It's an easy exercise that um, makes us tap into now. Like it's literally like the exercise now, what we just have done now, for me it's from the past. So literally the moment, as the breath in is the moment, the breath out, it's now.
Yes.
So the breath in was past. So that's really good. I would thank you a lot. I really thank you for this technique because it's so simple and it's so easy.
Yes.
And I think in time of storms, like whether physical storm or mental storm or anything, that would be a great grounding, simple technique to come back
Definitely.
to who we are. And as you said, in our next episode, we would talk more about it, and we're
Oh,
gonna
yes.
we're gonna discuss more. And also, I will try to make posts earlier in case of
Right.
anyone have questions about
Right.
they would like to discuss during the episode. And we also, I want to mention to everyone that next time we'll have a better um, tech quality, but I'm pretty sure that here, like if the picture is moving or something like that, I'm pretty sure the sound is good, so you can just put your headphones and listen to it audio only. That might be very helpful to you. Thank you, doctor. That was great. And please, if anyone would like to contact Dr. Prabhakar, you can directly contact me, and also we will go to have a page, a dedicated Facebook page, YouTube channel, Instagram page, and so on to follow up. And also we're working on a website, so this is all coming in the future. Also, we are planning, because Dr. Shams is mainly based in India, so maybe in the future, within the next year or so, we're gonna plan for retreats in India, whether online or in person. So there is a lot to come. This is the seed, the start of our journey, and we're gonna take care of this seed, and it will grow up gracefully and gorgeously. So yes, thank you, Dr. Shams, and please, if you can tell us final words to finish with.
That's great, Shadi. Whoever is interested in improving their life should be interested in joining us. Simple as that. So, looking forward, we made a good start today. Whatever we do with a good intention, however it is a good thing. A good beginning with good intention is always good for everyone, good at large. So, let's hope people will take advantage of this and join us, share with us our knowledge and their experiences, and spread it around. Let's have some smiles on the depressed faces, the crying souls. Let us bring some hope to them. Let us give them confidence that they can be as healthy, happy, and successful as anybody else. And this is what I wish to do. I have been trying to do successfully. And I appreciate your initiative to start this video blog, whatever you call it. And let's
Podcast,
hope again.
video, whatever
Let's
the word.
let's meet again very
Yes,
soon
but we have a
for
question,
everyone.
Dr. Shams. It seems like the breathing techniques encourage people to speak up. So we have
Oh
one
yes.
of the audience, Fatma. She said, "Thank you for reminding me to breathe. I usually hold my breath all the time. The, we sometimes we forget to breathe." And also, she asked a question. I would love to hear from Dr. Prabhakar about forgiveness and trauma.
Okay. Well, it needs a little description. We will take it up in our next session. But for now, what I would say that forgive everyone if you can. If you have not suffered so much damage to your body, to your mind, to your emotion, to your finances, forgive the people who harmed you unintentionally. But never forgive the people who intentionally harm you bodily, mentally, financially, socially, in whatever sense. And intentionally done wrong must meet its punishment mercilessly so that
Mhm.
that becomes an example for future wrongdoers. But be kind to your enemies, appreciate them. It is because of the people who are inimical to you, you have a chance to improve yourself. Unless somebody criticizes us, we don't know what is defect in us. Therefore, use every criticism as a compliment to you. Try to accept it, appreciate it, and appreciate the people, admire the people who criticize you constructively. Out of jealousy, you will know. So you know very clearly who is a good criticizing person and who is a bad criticizing purpose. So if you feel justified, be strong enough, broad minded enough, wide hearted enough to forgive them. And the other part of it, it needs a lot of mental courage and moral stability to deal with it. We shall take it up in our future sessions.
Thank you for that. But you
So
mentioned, yes, do you want to continue? Sorry to interrupt. Yes, go on,
I
please.
wish you good luck to whoever is has been with us now in this talk, and we shall meet again and enrich ourselves. It's not that I am giving any speech here, any lecture or talk here. It's a mutual sharing. I would like to share my experience and I would like to hear from you so that we learn together and we achieve better and better understanding of our life and improve the quality of our life, each of us individually and collectively. So, until we meet again, good luck to you all. Bye.
Just one moment, Dr. Shams. One moment to wrap
Yeah,
up. Just one moment. So thank you for that, and I think that maybe in the we are going to have a bi-weekly episode or a podcast session. So in 2 weeks from now, maybe we're gonna discuss more about forgiveness and trauma. And also, we need to highlight and elaborate about if someone did it non intentionally, we can forgive them, how we will forgive them. But you said if someone did it intentionally, don't forgive them. So, how we can live with this unforgiveness? I, I, I will not hear an answer now, but I think that's a big topic for the next episode.
yes,
So, thank you, Fatma, for this topic because I think that would be a great topic to start the next episode with because we almost like um, an hour and 45 minutes now. So we're closing 2 hours. So we need to end this call because also it will be recorded. We don't want to make a very long videos for people not to watch. We will keep an hour and a half, but now it's the first time. That's why we extended a little bit. Thank you to everyone. And we will announce for our next session. And please, if you have any questions for the next session, write it in the announcement. Thanks, Fatma, and thanks everyone have been here. Thank you, Dr. Prabhakar, and we're looking forward to meet you again.
thank you, dear. Thank you all who have been participating in this dialogue between us, and we shall meet again soon. Good luck. Bye.